As Sandeep mentioned, I lead our marketing at Kenshu. Since, I'm pretty sure 2013, that has included planning and managing K8, although the event has evolved quite a bit over the years. And we're getting to the wind down portion of the day. In a moment, I'm gonna introduce our final speaker. Before I do that, I just want to make a few quick acknowledgements to the many, many people who have helped throw everything together today. I'm not gonna be able to name everybody, but I'll name a few. And I'll give you guys just a little quick insight into kind of what went into our thinking behind this year's theme and the planning and the agenda we put together. So first off, first and foremost, really, I want to thank all of you for being here. We know exactly how much we're asking of you to spend an entire Monday with us, away from your home, away from your life, away from everyday work. And just, even though I think it's a pretty nice place to be held captive for 12 hours, we so appreciate it. We really value the time together. I also want to echo everybody who has thanked our sponsors so far. You guys really helped put not just a contribution towards the event, but helped make the agenda so much richer with some great content. So we really consider pretty much everyone in this room a partner in the truest sense of the word. I want to thank Sandeep, our wonderful MC. This is his second year hosting K8. I wasn't there last year to see him, but I heard he was amazing. Sandeep is a very unique person. He's just as sincere as he seems to be, which can be kind of hard to believe if you're any kind of cynic like me. I think everybody who works with Sandeep in any capacity has a Sandeep story, like a moment where they're like, oh my God, he's for real. And for me, that was, I think it was a year or two ago. Sandeep and I, we've always, shared a lot in common. We both love yoga. We both like to brag about our kids. And one day I got an email from him that said, "Dear Margot, if I'm not mistaken, I believe today is exactly 1 year from your son's bar mitzvah. And I just wanted to wish you guys well and, kind of mark the occasion." And I was like, oh my God, because I definitely did not remember that it was 1 year from my own kid's bar mitzvah. So thank you, Sandeep. I think if we're lucky, we might get a yoga trick or two out of him before the end of the day. I want to shout out to our amazing event partners, the Just 70 team. You guys are like magical elves who work through the night and make everything beautiful, and your vision really came to life. And I want to thank Lily Rotter. I think a lot of you have gotten emails from her, phone calls from her. Lily really is the person who made today happen, and she's one of these people who you just keep expecting her to drop a ball or to forget something, and every time you think you thought of something that we forgot all about, she's like, oh yeah, I got that, and here's the answer, and it's kind of just, it's awe-inspiring for me. All right, so if you guys have joined us for a K8 before, I don't know how many people in the room have, you know that every year we choose a new theme. It's not always knowledge is power. And we try to be really deliberate about that theme. We try to think of something that feels reflective of who we feel like we are as a company at this moment in time. We try to be relevant to the industry and some of the larger themes of the world. So this year's theme, knowledge is power, not obviously a phrase that we made up. I think it can even sound kind of trite or cliche, but it felt like the right thing for this year because this has been kind of an insane year in the world and especially in our industry. And the ecosystem is so complicated, and we've dealt with really complicated issues, and we feel like knowing how to navigate it is really everything. It's going to be kind of the difference between success or the opposite right now. Kenshu sits in a pretty unique position in this ecosystem where we feel like we can help bridge a lot of the disparate parts between publisher and advertiser and marketer and customer. And so when in thinking through an agenda for today, this is kind of what we had in mind, is like, how can we bring all of this stuff together and make sure that by the end of today, you've heard a lot and you have some idea of how to turn all of this amazing capability that we are hearing about, that we have at our fingertips, into something that's actually empowering. How we can actually use all of this data and intelligence that we keep blabbing away about for good, as professionals and as people. So that was the plan, and I think it was probably like a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I'm pitching this to Yoav, our CEO, who you heard from this morning, and I'm telling him about the objectives of the day and the budget that we have in mind and the positioning that we're going to do and all this stuff, and I get one of these famous long Yoav silences, And if you've ever been on the other end of one of Yoav's long pauses, you know that you're about to be humbled in some way, and you just got to kind of take it. So I sweated it out as long as I could. I couldn't take it. I'm like, okay, Yoav, what do you want to accomplish with K8, 2019? He's like, keep it simple. I just want people to be inspired. So, I'm like, oh yeah, me too, same. So I hope that at some point over the course of today, you guys have had one of those flash moments, an idea, maybe something you heard that sparked something that you guys can take with you back into the rest of your work week, back into the rest of your lives, something that you'll call us and ask us, to talk about more. And our final speaker of the day is Ingrid Fattal-Lee, and she doesn't really have anything directly to do with our industry, although she might give you some good ideas for inspiring creative, for any of you who work on the creative of your business. But she has everything to do with inspiration, and she's here because I heard her at a conference, another marketing conference, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and when she was finished, she was the afternoon keynote, and when she was finished, someone said to me, so what did you think? And I said, I want her for K8. And they're like, ha ha ha. I'm like, no, I'm totally serious. I'm gonna get her for K8. Because when she was done, I had one of those moments, one of those flash moments of ideas. Okay, I'm gonna put so much more emotion into our marketing and so much more positivity into our creative. And more importantly, I just felt, kind of in a good mood, and I felt really hopeful. And those are really nice things to feel at 5 p.m. on a weekday. So we wanted to bring some of those vibes to you as we close out the day today. So about Ingrid. Ingrid Fattal-Lee is a designer. She was formerly design director of a tiny little company you've never heard of called IDEO. It's a global innovation firm. She is the author of Joyful, The Surprising Power of Ordinary Things to Create Extraordinary Happiness. She is the founder of a website, The Aesthetics of Joy. She has over 10 years of experience in design and in branding. She consults. She's been featured as an expert all over the news on design and joy, in the New York Times, in Wired, and Fast Company. She has an immensely popular TED Talk with over 14 million views, which I recommend you check out if you haven't gotten enough of her today. And I think she's going to put us in a good mood. So with that, I'd like to welcome Ingrid Fattal-Lee.